Shall I start?
Yep.
Hi, Chaitsi. Thank you for coming on board. And it's been great talking to you off late. And thank you, especially because you just met with an accident and you were still ready to come on board for this interview. A little bit about Swara. So, Swara is a social enterprise which believes in empowering women. They handcraft clothes, which at the same time are, sustainable, which are in line with sustainable fashion. Um, so we've recently launched a campaign in the name of Plastic Ninja, wherein we are promoting sustainable living
Yeah.
and as to how we should stop using plastic. So yeah,
That's insane.
so I'll just shall I just begin with my set of questions?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I would want you to tell the audience as to how, like, what's been your journey. You've been living a plastic free life. So what was your journey like?
So I started a few years ago with just a simple intention to think about what are the things that we can switch to if plastic was not invented. And it was just a personal challenge that I took upon myself. And in the process, I realized that it's becoming increasingly difficult to get access to products that don't come in a package or don't get packaged in a plastic layer. And so I started making some of the stuff on my own at home. Started making soaps, started making use of coconut oil and natural ingredients to take care of my skincare needs, and saying no to plastic bags whenever I went shopping. And I also discovered a couple of brands that offer a plastic free shopping experience, and that was really, really interesting for me. So I started talking to these brands, and what I realized is that it's a very, very small market right now, but it's actually something that should be used by anyone and everyone, because plastic once created does not biodegrade for 5 to 800 years, and it's gonna surpass all of us multiple generations to come. So I thought it was a very interesting segment to sort of start working on and dedicating time and effort towards it. So that's how I started my journey.
That's wonderful. So, since how long have you been practicing this personally?
About 3 years, and it's actually a journey in a real sense, because you can't suddenly overnight become plastic free. It's part of, you have to start looking at the little things that you use. How is it that you can find alternatives, whether you can find them at all or not, and what do you throw away, what do you not throw away. And technically you can't throw away anything, because it has to be sent to a recycling center, or you have to segregate it to different grades, make sure it's used to its best life cycle. um, so we still have a lot of products that we use at home, like our dabbas to take tiffins in, or storage containers in the kitchen. We still have some skincare that we do use because it's medically prescribed. So there are certain things that you definitely can't get rid of, but it's the smaller things that you can switch to, like toothbrushes, skincare products that come in glass containers, or come in reusable containers, than uh, as compared to the other products. So yeah, it's definitely a journey, but I think we have very little plastic now, as compared to what we had 3 years ago.
That's amazing. That's like a lot of conscious effort because,
Yeah,
like, plastics like a everyday thing. Ki, haan, take it in the polythene le jao or whatever. That is
it's
true.
really
That's
surprising
amazing.
because there are so many, like, just today we posted about this paper cup. A lot of us think that if we take a paper cup for chai, it's okay, but it actually has a layer of plastic inside. So there are so many such products that are actually fused with plastic that you can never really get rid of. So it's just best to avoid those, and whatever you have, you make sure that you use them till they sort of die. um, so that's the interesting part of going plastic free, that you can never really become entirely 100% plastic free, but what you can then start consuming should be without it, so that it makes up for all the stuff that you already have.
since you said that, I personally, I mean, I remember going through Brown Living platform, and
Yeah.
it intrigued me, and that's how I got in touch with you.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us what Brown Living is all about, and how did you come up with this concept, and how it's generating so much of attention?
I don't know how much attention it's generating, honestly, but yes, we've had a lot of inspiring communities to sort of reach out to us and write about us. And that's really, really motivating. But to be honest, I purely started this as a social enterprise to support brands that have the right motivation to create products that are good for the earth, good for nature. And some of them have now become really close friends to me, purely because we share the same value system, the same vision and mission. um, so Brown Living actually is a platform for all brands, all labels, small entrepreneurs who create products that are plastic free, chemical free, sustainable, ethically sourced. We promote a sustainable way of life in all aspects. So whether it's skincare, whether it's lifestyle products like decor or home essentials, we even have started including fashion brands. That's how I think Swara will be a great integration. And all of these brands have something very, very earth friendly in them. And uh, there's a there's a there's a common thread that brings them all together, is the same mission of making the earth better than we found it. And there's a strong framework that we've created to find truly sustainable brands that looks at the product in a holistic life cycle. And we evaluate the carbon impact of the product. We look at circular design. We look at what are the components that we can probably change in a product and help the brand switch to, so that they can have a lower impact in terms of production or in terms of their plastic footprint or carbon footprint overall. Just a second. Yeah. So that's essentially the core of Brown Living, and we've grown pretty quickly. We started with just 15 brands when we launched in November 2019, and today we have about 100 brands, and another 50 are waiting in line to get onboarded. And it's just a small team. We're just two of us, my husband and I, who sort of put the whole thing together. My brother helps us with our taxation and compliance. So it's been a little overwhelming. It's taking us time to get the more brands and more products listed, because it's just the two of us, and we're also trying to live a life and have an e-commerce platform which is always on. So yeah, I mean, it's a good kind of problem. I'm really excited, and I think hopefully we are able to add more value to the brands that we've onboarded. And I think it's beautiful that so many of them trust us with uh, making sure that bring them growth and success going forward.
No, that's amazing. I had no idea that your husband's also part of it. Had I known, I would have collaborated the two of you for this interview. But
He's actually recently
that's
joined.
amazing. I mean,
Hello?
you a lot of time, but since still you are like going strong, and that's amazing. Um, so, what is your take on sustainable living? Because I what you said, I feel it's correlated to plastic, being plastic free. But
Yeah,
like, what are your thoughts on sustainable living?
just a second.
Married, honestly.
Really? How does one look married?
I mean, no, I just thought you were my age. Like, I'm 25, so I thought you were
I am
what?
29. I got married when I was 25. Um, yeah, but thank you.
I'm not gonna make my mom watch this.
It's a beautiful part of your life if you have the right person. That's important.
I'll take this up later when you stop recording probably.
So,
Yeah. So basically, what's your take on sustainable living, and why is it such a desperate need of the hour?
um, a lot of us come from a place of unawareness. We don't know. I mean, I still am learning every day that there are so many products that we use that lead up in a landfill or end up in an ocean and, you know, sort of choke up another animal or a species. And so many of them have gone extinct. The planet is having global warming at a larger level. Everybody knows about it. It's just that I think people don't know what to do about the problem. Um, Climate change and global warming are such vague and extensive concepts that how do you understand what to do when you know the problem exists? And it also leads to confusion and misleading information from brands or from people or from, you know, generally the media. It's important that we start looking at everything that we consume or everything that we do in our daily lives a little differently, evaluating what is the impact of actually getting something in our hands for consumption. So there's something called food miles. How much does your food travel before it comes on your plate, or how much energy is consumed in creating a piece of garment, or how much water is polluted in producing garments, or or cleansing something, for example. I've had a background in product creation, and my family is in textile business, so I've had a little taste of a little bit of everything. And when I started reading up about sustainability and why is everybody talking about global warming, I realized that it's so vague that you get so lost in all the things that you need to do. So I said, okay, how do we simplify this problem? How do we make sure that these are small actions that people can take to sort of make a switch and make a difference? Um, just similar to the coronavirus situation we are in right now. Uh, People don't know how to solve or how to get rid of the pandemic, but people know that they need to wear a mask, they need to wash their hands. These are simple acts that everybody can do, right? And that's how a lot of countries have been able to get out of the pandemic, have been able to avoid the problem in the first place. So it's a very similar approach to that. Finding small products that you can switch to, or doing small actions like composting your waste or segregating your waste and then sending it to recycling. These are really small things that you do on an everyday level, so that you as a family or as an individual can make a change. You don't have to suddenly go to a solar powered electricity household. You can't do that right now. A lot of people live in community areas and buildings, and it's not possible to make that switch. But what is it that you can do on a really small level? So can you switch to a bamboo toothbrush, or can you buy a shampoo bar instead of a shampoo bottle? And these are things that you buy almost every day, and the amount of stuff that gets discarded because of these items is massive. So that's why we started looking at like really small things. So even if you look at the website, there are like really small ticket items that you can buy, um, starting from 150, like from a comb to a piece of decor to whatever. And these are all pre-loved or created new with earth friendly materials. So I think these are like, uh, instead of having a whole meal of sustainable living, you can just have a snack and taste it, and if you like it, then you can sort of take the journey on. That's my take.
That's right. Like when we started with Plastic Ninja, so hand wash is like a thing now. Nobody uses soaps.
Yeah.
And I out of the blue, I was like, okay, mom, let's just stop buying these hand wash bottles.
Hmm.
Let's just start using soaps. And my parents were like, what sort of enlightenment has stuck to you? I'm like, no, let's just, it's the tiny, tiny conscious efforts that you take,
Yeah,
which matter a lot. Well,
absolutely.
that's
Like if you're in your house, you don't need a sanitizer, right? It's the same thing. You should
that's true.
go to the tap and wash your hands. It's as simple as that.
Nice.
I
That's
think even like shower gels came in very recently, but I don't understand why they came in the first place. You have a perfectly good working
right.
solution for a soap. Why do you need to package it in a plastic container, make it liquid, and then make it difficult to travel? Soaps are perfect. I think they are a godsend. Uh,
Better.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, any scientifically speaking, also like your hand wash, your body wash, everything has detergent. It's the best to have the soap, quality intact in them. So that is true. Like scientifically, ecologically, sustainably, it's the option. I feel you're right. Uh, Also, I recently came across this article where you were featured in Tweak India. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How was your experience? And like, yeah, how was it?
Honestly, I had no idea that they knew about us. It was a surprise feature. We were just looking at some data on, where is our website traffic coming from, and my husband told me, "Listen, what is Tweak India?" I'm like, I have no idea. I didn't, honestly, I didn't know about them till they featured us, which is strange. But then I realized that it's, it's pretty big to be featured on a platform like that, and we've gotten a lot of queries on listening, like you reached out to us. A lot of people ask me, how's your journey been, and suddenly everyone's interested, which is great. I honestly don't like limelight so much, so it's been
That's
a
great.
little difficult on me personally, but as far as the word gets out, it's great.
That's so nice of you. That's really kind of you. Well, I say that both locals in India. What are your hands-on tips or takeaways for the enterprises like us and otherwise? What message would you want to give them?
For businesses, I think it's important to have a mindset of going sustainable or going zero waste. As far as you have that, you will start looking at smaller things that you probably already do that are good and that needs improvement. And the minute you realize what is it that you need to improve, you will find a way to fix that. We also consult brands on how they can go sustainable, whether they need help with packaging or finding labels which are made sustainably, or getting rid of buttons and switching them to coconut shell buttons. How do you find suppliers who give you the right materials, right fabrics, or dyeing companies? So I do all my research in terms of what is it that a brand would need to sort of make a brand sustainable. So as long as you have the mindset, it's all possible. There are ample suppliers available to make sure that we can make that switch. So it's just about that. Just make sure that you are clear headed in terms of what you want to achieve as a brand, and we are here to help you with the rest.
Oh, fortunately, whatever you said, Swara is aligned with that. We do not use normal buttons. We use the coconut shells as buttons.
Yeah,
We have organic clothing. We use natural-based dyes. So yeah,
amazing.
that's a so we genuinely are looking forward for a longer association with you. And thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Likewise.
Take care.